welcoming to Norway and Oslo. I'm on the bus and the start of the day. Got here yesterday and we're off now to Oskarborg. So we're going to show a bit of that later. So I'm on one of these big old bendy buses. So it's a rare old beast. They don't hang about. Anyway, I need to pay attention to see where I've got to get off because I've got 2 connections to make to get to where I needed to be to catch the ferry across to the island. And I'll tell you all about that later. Well, good morning. I've got the bus and I've come all the way down to Drøbak where I was hoping to catch the ferry. As I got to the end of the road there, the ferry was here and it just pulled away and it's gone over there. Now the next one, as far as I can work out, is at 10:50. It's now 9:30. So I've got a little bit of time to wait to be able to get across there to do what I need to do today. What's a bugger? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back into Drøbak. Going to go and find a cup of coffee and a bit of breakfast, and then I'll get back here in plenty of time to catch the little ferry. So it's going to cost us 200 kroner to get the ferry across, and then we're going to go and do the bits and pieces I need to do over there. So I'm just going to, I'll give you a quick look around. Look, that's the island of Oskarborg over there, that's it. And on the 9th of April, the early hours of 9th of April 1940, the Germans were steaming up here, coming up here, going up through there to Oslo Fjord. This is Oslo Fjord, and they fired upon her from here, from over there, and from this side, and she got just up around the corner and sunk. So they sunk the Blücher, which gave the king an extra couple of days to get away. So he eventually, by a roundabout route, got across to England and spent the entire war in England in exile, effectively, and the Quisling government took over, which he didn't recognise. So we'll more on that later. But for now, I'm going to have a wander into Drøbak, have a cup of coffee, some breakfast, and then come back. So until then, TTFN. Ta-da for now. Well, I've come into the sort of, I think this is around about the centre, or it's near the centre of Drøbak, and I've just had coffee and a croissant over there, and this is a little market square. They're setting up a market for today. As you can see, the weather is beautiful, and yeah, so I'm just going to have a wander now back to the ferry. So this is like the main street going through Drøbak, and just see through the trees there the fjord. So I'm just going to have a wander along, wander back. It's about half a mile back to where the ferry is, and yeah, from Bangkok till Tokyo. Takeaway catering. So along here, so you've got the bibliothèque, what is a library, and then over there is a sort of a 7 till 11, or in this case 9 till 8, 8 till 8, and then there's a apothecary up there. So we're just having a mince along. Here's a taxi rank, look, get taxis from here as well. So we'll just have a bit of a mince, and yeah. Oh, love the sound of a V8 in the morning. right, get across the road before I get killed. And look, there's a Nora Med Spa. So just there is a bus stop, and it's the bus stop Drøbak Church. So there's Drøbak Church. Here goes a telehandler. So at the moment, it's really busy, as you can tell. That's the dead centre of Drøbak. He says. Yeah. So we'll have a wander across. So I think I might have to walk back to here to get the bus, because where the bus dropped me off, it's like that to get down to the ferry. So that's the church. Very ornate. Looks like it's from 1776. So the dead centre of Drøbak. There's quite a few graves here. So I'm just going to have a wander through this park on the way back to the ferry. As you can see, the proud round here, most of the houses are flying a Norwegian flag of some description. Yeah, unlike England, not allowed to fly the English flag or the Union flag without fear of upsetting somebody. But the Norwegians are pretty proud of themselves. Now, I'm just going to go and have a look at this guy over here. I suspect that this guy, he's the guy that gave the order to fire on the Blücher. So let's just go and have a look. So, it is. So this is he's the commander who gave the order on the 9th of April 1940 to brass up the Blücher. There was a couple of, another one that they hit as well. So there you go. That's him. Well done. Very well done. The Commandant. August Birger Eriksson. Commandant. Par Oskarborg Festning, 9th of April 1940. Excellent. So that's where we're off today. We're off over to, I'll give you a look at this beautiful little place. We're off there, that island just there. That's Oskarborg, and we'll have a good look around, and you'll see where they fired the cannons from, and torpedoes. This is something fairly interesting. It's falling from a log from Foreign 1939 to 1945. So that piece of artwork, I guess, shows some of what went on here. It was a cracking day. I'm just having a wander through this little park. There's a kids' play area there, and there's a slide. Looks a bit steep for my liking. Not quite sure what that place is there, whether somebody lives there or whether it's part of this area. Interesting. So we'll just continue our wander along here, and you can see some guys out there trying to fish. Not my idea of fishing. Normally use a flashbang and a net. So this is fairly well kept. Yeah, no diving off and into the Oggen here. Yeah. So this is the sort of the bottom end of Oslo Fjord. So see the big white post in the middle there? That's the channel. And you see big ships coming up, cruise ships coming up and going straight up through there. And that's the route that the Blücher had to take, which is why it got battered from both sides, this side and the other side. So that fateful night of the, well, it was early morning actually, of the 9th of April 1940, that the Blücher and about half a dozen other ships were trying to sneak into Oslo to capture it, while at the same time up the coast of Norway other German battleships were attempting to take other key ports along the coast, invading Norway effectively. But what happened here is that they managed to stop the Blücher and a couple of the other boats coming up, and consequently that delayed them getting into Oslo, which enabled King Haakon to escape. So it was on the run for a week or so before he managed to get across the North Sea to England, where he stayed in exile until the end of the war. So it looks like you can actually swim from this bit of beach. So people in their swimming cozies, and it looks like there's a bit of a shower there that you can have after. So you can swim in this bit but not diving off the edge. But there's a diving platform there actually. Yeah. So this is walking back from the centre of Drøbak, where I've just been for coffee, and this is just walking down to where the ferry is. That's going to take us across to Oskarborg. So I've arrived at Oskarborg, and as a Billy bonus today, it's the Queen's birthday. So at midday they're going to fire a gun salute. So I'm going to go and have a butcher's at that. But there's the ferry down there that I've just come in on, and it looks like it's it's looking at going out again. So this is part of the gun emplacements. So they had cannons stuck in here that they fired on the Blücher. So we'll have a wander up and see what we can't see. So that's looking back across the Drøbak, and this building up here is a school by all accounts. So the cruise ships have to come through this bit here, and they have to come through because they can't go the other side, because back in the 1800s they built a submarine barrier, a wall basically across, but there's only a small gap that small boats can get through on the other side. But on this side it's this is the main channel, and yeah, just looking back you can see some of the gun emplacements over there. So this is where the ships have to come up. So this is one of the gun emplacements, and there are 3 along here that I can see at the moment. But these things take quite a bit of manpower to load and take aim. But we'll get a look over there in a minute. But yeah, apparently they could only have time to get 2 rounds off as the Blücher was coming up the channel there. So looking down there, there's the guys getting ready with the cannons, and there's some more gun emplacements over there, and this is the museum, and there's a parade ground. So we're going to go have a look down there and see how we get on. So this guy here is Birger Eskesund, or Eriksson, and he was the guy that gave the order to fire on the Blücher. So this is a look across this little parade square, going towards the museum, and just look back, there's the what's named to Eriksson. So this is coming into the museum itself, and it gives you a brief history on the place up until from 1588 to 1905. So we'll just have a wander through, give you an idea. This is when they built the place. 1588 it started. So that just shows you a little bit of where all the gun emplacements are. So there's the gun emplacements there that we just had a look at, and this is where we are now, inside the museum. So we'll just have a wander through. Fortunately, it's all nice and quiet. Now, I'm not sure whether this one's one of the guns that they used to fire on the Blücher. Probably not, I guess. But this here shows you where the, say this is Oskarborg, where we are now, and I guess this is Drøbak over here, and this is showing some of the gun emplacements and stuff. So just have to keep an eye on the time. Looks like this shows you a bit of a film of showing where the Blücher was forced up. And then if we go back out here, it takes you round into Nazi Oskarborg from 1940 to 1945. So this shows what the Germans was up to at this time. Oh, Lily Marlene. And there's the Nazi flag. That's the Marines Creek, I think. Amazing stuff. So, old Lily Marlene. Then it comes through into here. So this looks like the old Blücher. And just behind you've got King Haakon. And this looks like the return of the king at the end of the war. Now here's a little trick that the Norwegians had up their sleeve. They had a torpedo. What's the name that they used on they fired 2 torpedoes at the Blücher, which eventually sunk it. This looks like somebody had some fine dining in this place. So after the sinking of the Blücher, the Germans bombed the site, but what they didn't know is that they had a series of tunnels underneath where all the guys, there's about 28 of them, went and hid and not one was injured. So that was just a brief look around the museum here up on the top, and now what we're going to do is going to have a wander around and have a look at, see where they're going to fire these cannons off for the Queen's birthday. Now it's quite windy again today, so we'll just have a look, see how we're getting on. So we've got about 4 minutes to go and they're going to fire a 21 gun salute for the Queen's birthday. Not our Queen, the Norwegian Queen's birthday. So the gun crews are now just getting ready, as you can see. They've got their hearing defence on. So I've got a few minutes to go before they start firing this gun salute.
Yes, the day after, jeg kunne engelsk, tysk og norsk,
Ja.
men jeg kunne ikke uttale disse ordene i English.
Yes. So here we go, he's just watching the time now. Just taking hold. Are they all going to fire together, or are they going to one at a time?
Time.
5 seconds between?
Yeah. 5 seconds.
So stand by. We're going to get a few bangs any second now. Stand by, stand by. Oh, boom! I love it. 5 seconds. 5 seconds between each one. Whoa! This is how the Norwegians do it. Stick them in, fire them off. One every 5 seconds. So the Queen is 87 today. Now we're starting to get the smoke coming our way. Oh, brilliant. We've still got a few rounds to go. Yeah. Excellent timing. So as you can see, while they're firing the salute, we've got punt as well. So we've got 5 rounds to go. Down to 3 rounds. That's the last one of that. That's the penultimate one. And here's the last one. Boom. Haha, love it. Clear guns. Go clear. Yeah, good drills. Now he's going to report guns clear. That's it, all guns clear. Carry on, sir, please. That's it, take hearing defence off so they can hear what's going on. So I'll just get a closer look at these guns. Now these are American guns that were given to the Norwegians. So there's the blank rounds that they've all fired off. So now they're going to put the guns to bed, ready for February when they fire another salute for the King, who's 88. So that was fascinating. these guys, they're all reserves, and they're all on the list for firing these guns, and they have 7 occasions during the year when they fire a gun salute, which is normally 21 rounds. And yeah, so that was been fascinating, and I've had a really good chat with a couple of them. Most of them are officers, and that's what they do. I mean, that's their reserve job, to look after those guns, and also these ones behind, but they don't fire these. So these were the guns that fired on the Blücher, and there's 4 along here, and then over the other side there's another, on the other island there's another battery, and also another 2 batteries out on the Drøbak side that also fired on the Blucher. Now that night there was fog, and the battery that was over that side couldn't see, so they were unable to get rounds off, but these guns did, and so the Blücher was coming up this way. You see where those boats are coming through now, so that's the channel, and on this side here there's a wall. It's a submarine barrier effectively, so you can't actually get through without hitting a wall. And here comes the ferry back over. But on that night of the 9th of April 1940, these 4 guns were all loaded. So they all had a round up the spout, so they were able to engage as soon as they saw it. And this was a command bunker. So this is another one of the guns, and there's a command post there that looked out on that day. And as you can see, there's the channel that comes up, and across the way there is Drøbak. So it's a bit more of a closer up look at one of these guns. I mean, they are huge, and they were operated by this wheel. They turn this wheel, and it turns the gun on its axis there. And there's another handle up there to get the elevation. It took quite a lot of guys to operate one of these guns. There was around 28 guys to operate one. So this is looking around the other side of the fort, and you can see it's quite substantial. So I don't think the Junkers 88s did an awful lot of damage to it. As you can see, it's made of granite, so it's pretty tough. And even had a bit of a moat by the looks of it, but it's quite a defence. And he's looking out on the other side of the fjord. But the big ships can't get down that way. Looks like they're doing a little bit of work down there, and there's a harbour down there as well. And there are also guns down here. Don't know what they're quite doing with the guns down there, but it's a range of different guns. So over there you can see the parade ground, and this is looking back around the top side of the fort. So unfortunately the torpedo battery is closed to private groups, or it is only open for private groups, so there isn't a tour going on today, unfortunately. So but we've had a really good wander around this place. It's fascinating, it really is. It is definitely worth coming. Look at that. Dog having a go at the commandant. Oh, okay, that's it. Let's see if we can get a bus back into Oslo. Oh, there's something. There's a helicopter coming in to land. I wonder if it's the Queen coming in to say thank you for firing a gun salute. But there you go. There's troops keeping them back. He's having a little bit of trouble with the wind. There's quite a breeze coming in here. So all in all, I've had quite a good little wash day here. Getting stuff I didn't know was going to happen. There you go, and touchdown. That's it, he's down. Outrageous.